explosions, the vibe, the grittiness, the realism. This is Battlefield.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. So, I'm not too optimistic about Season 2. As you know, was delayed. And right now, optimism generally feels cautious at best within the community. The teaser trailer itself also doesn't really inspire much hope. It's literally a 5-second reveal of what looks like smoke from Rainbow Six Siege. So again, stealing ideas from other games. But we're going to get into all of that here in this video. I won't be reading the update DICE put out word for word, because I think that's really boring. I personally can't stand that shit when YouTubers read out updates verbatim and then they just go and give their 2-second opinion on it. That's really shit content. Instead, what I'm going to do here is be really critical about this game so far in regards to this reveal and Season 2. The perception that this development team might be creatively bankrupt and so copying to sustain itself. And the idea that fans should temper their expectations. A post by an ex-developer at DICE before the release of this game, and that seems relevant every time I see an update for this game. Battlefield 6 sits under a mountain of expectation, and that weight is entirely earned. This franchise built its name on scale, chaos, and respect for the battlefield. Players don't log in to roleplay a personality. They log in to be a tiny piece in something massive and unpredictable. That legacy still matters, and it's the reason many people are still watching every move this game makes. Players are also starting to feel like refugees in their own game, sidelined for casuals and COD players. And that goes in hand with the fact that the development team have changed and they don't seem to understand player feedback. At least not be able to differentiate between the hardcore fans or the casuals and what they want. So the game seems tailored for them, whilst simultaneously ignoring or blocking any real critique or feedback about the game. But there's a sense that we're not being listened to by what seems like an emotional development team. So right now, I'm not optimistic about this game. I'm a realist, and optimism feels cautious at best. I'm really expecting them to provide the minimum. Remember to temper your expectations. You know, this is exactly what you get with these progressive teams. I've said this many times before. Battle passes, seasonal content, customization focus, diversity, reduction in output, scale and quality reduced, etc. And those stupid weapon charms. Can we just please stop this shit? This is the formula they keep emphasizing, and this is fundamentally not what this game is about. Season 2 being delayed doesn't inspire much on its own. It's actually telling me off the bat they have problems which they're trying to sort out. Delays can often mean polish or redirection, yet when the vision itself is questionable, more time only magnifies the concern. What makes this frustrating is that Battlefield still has insane potential. I've been saying this almost every video, it seems. Its greatness is still there. The engine, the locations, the theme, the factions. It's all being held back by the development team. That's why the disappointment hits even harder. Because what it could be is literally within reach. When a franchise with this much identity starts drifting, it feels like watching someone gradually going through amnesia. So all we've seen of Season 2 is a 5-second teaser, which is what you're seeing on screen right now. A soldier in a gas mask emerging from thick green smoke. That's it. And somehow that tiny slice manages to say far too much. This visual language is instantly screaming Rainbow Six Siege. The gas, the mask, the framing. It's hard not to think of Smoke and Mute, defenders from Rainbow Six Siege, fused into one character. You also had Sledge and Thatcher as the attackers, all of which inspired by the British SAS commandos. When people see this mask, this intense close-up personal framing, they're thinking of these guys. That green gas is synonymous with Rainbow Six Siege. It's in the poster art, it's part of the character's DNA. Entire co-op missions are constructed around the use of this gas, fundamentally altering how gameplay unfolds. This connection is more than superficial. It's the reason these squads are wearing gas masks in the first place. And that plays a significant role in both the marketing and gameplay experience of Rainbow Six Siege. So I have a suspicion that DICE are going to steal this green gas menace combination as the defining image of the next season, which seems really careless. This isn't subtle inspiration, it's a complete robbery at this point. When I was at uni, I was told you're not supposed to plagiarize ideas because you'll get done for that, but somehow we've got entire AAA studios completely hijacking each other's shit. It's really strange. What's more concerning is what the teaser prioritizes. It's not a map, a battlefield, or some kind of iconic location. It's a character moment that feeds directly into the specialist era mindset, which everyone already pushed back against. When the first thing you show is a cool operator skin, you're basically telling players what you really think matters. Again, I'm going to predict the focus of the season is going to be surface level shit like cosmetics, skins, and battle pass shit. Second to all that are maps, environments, scattered all over the place, released at different dates and share no common theme, just like they did with Season 1. And this is again why I keep saying we need to get back to map packs, because at least with that premium model, everything is condensed into one high quality package and you know what you're getting. Now, I'm trying to pull as much information out of this 5-second clip as much as possible, and the mask is the biggest giveaway and what this potentially means for the game going forward. What you're looking at is a generic military law enforcement respirator design. It's not exclusive to the SAS specifically. It's the kind that's been used across NATO and non-NATO forces for decades. The overall look, full face seal, large eye lenses, external filter housings, it's broadly inspired by real protective masks, but it isn't exclusive to the SAS and never has been. Historically, British forces, including the SAS, used the Avon S10 respirator, which became iconic in the 80s to early 2000s, and I actually have one of these. That mask has a very distinctive profile and was widely photographed during the Iranian embassy siege and later conflicts. Today it's been replaced by the Avon GSR, General Service Respirator, which is very similar to what we're seeing in the teaser. It has a more modern modular design. Even then, these masks are standard issue British military equipment, not something reserved for SAS units specifically. The mask shown in Siege leans more towards a stylized composite design rather than a faithful reproduction of any single real-world gas mask. Elements like the exaggerated filter housings, lens shape, and overall silhouette are designed for instant visual recognition. Variations of this look appear across various counter-terrorism units worldwide, from the German GSG-9, French GIGN, Polish GROM, and others. That being said, this all indicates what type of operators that could come into Season 2. And I need to clarify that British Special Forces absolutely do use gas masks, but this specific design is not a signature SAS identifier. It's a generalized elite operator aesthetic. The point I'm trying to make is that people immediately connect this mask to the character Mute from Rainbow Six Siege. Along with the green gas, it's way too close. And this recycling of ideas isn't something exactly new. DICE have already been doing this. We saw this with the recent Ghosts skin from Call of Duty. Like, what the hell is this even doing in Battlefield? This can even be magnified into the game's mechanics. This teaser feeds into the growing fear that the dev team is creatively tapped out. Borrowing ideas happens in gaming, but leaning on another franchise's identity this hard suggests a lack of confidence in their own strengths. If the best hook for a new season is a familiar aesthetic from a competitor, from a decade-old game, then that's not a great sign. Battlefield has already absorbed plenty of Siege DNA at this point. Mechanics like deployable shields, penetrative projectiles, breaching floors, sledgehammer-style destruction, those systems can work in a Battlefield game, but it's open large-scale warfare has all been sidelined specifically for this. So what we get is a more condensed version of Battlefield. And the other problem is that now the borrowing seems to be creeping into character design and seasonal identity. When imitation becomes the foundation rather than the tool, it limits ambition. Battlefield needs fresh ideas that expand on scale and capitalize on what made the franchise unique in the first place. Deepen environmental interaction, create levolution, bring us tons of new large environments. Part of what made Battlefield unique is also how it was marketed. Each trailer had a soldier emerging through the chaos, through the destruction, in this unique digital style. That was all reinforced by the poster art. I don't see any of this in Battlefield 6, and because it's a modern shooter, many people see this game as the sequel to Battlefield 4, recycling other games' visual themes, doesn't move the franchise forward, and it doesn't inspire much confidence that the team can deliver something truly new. At least that's what I'm getting from this 5-second reveal. Obviously, I could be wrong. We'll just have to wait and see what they bring us next month. We can also hear a chopper flying by during the 5-second teaser. This, of course, could mean they're planning on updating the Little Bird into the game. This was one of my favorite vehicles, and we have seen this around, so it definitely seems likely to be coming into the game. That being said, this goes to show you how little was in the base game at launch. This season pass system is essentially starting to look like a pipeline for adding content which should have been in the base game at launch. This should have been in the game day one, along with a lot of other sandbox elements, weapons and vehicles, etc., reinforcing the fact that this game has given you less, but somehow requires more, like the 5 studios, to develop and sustain it. Something's not right here, and I covered exactly why this is in the last video. I think there is a hidden issue that this game has. It's thematic. Battlefield is always about environments swallowing players whole. Cities collapse, landscapes shift, and battles evolve dynamically. Siege is about operators, tight spaces, and controlled encounters. Those philosophies don't naturally align with Battlefield, and forcing them together only dilutes what made Battlefield special, especially when you're going to focus your maps on infantry-centric play spaces. You know, there's a growing perception that the teams are just trend chasing all the time, copying other games. Again, Siege was known for its operator card system. Each character had their own unique identity and ability which set them all apart. It seems like DICE are even trying to steal that. There's a strange focus on character, identity, specialist skins. All of this makes the game look like a hero shooter, and that's reinforced by the game's marketing. Ultimately, this 5-second teaser screams Siege, and that's the problem. The gas mask and green smoke are just way too close to the source material. They carry baggage from another game and bring it front and center as a defining theme of the entire Season 2. That basically feels like a shortcut rather than a bold vision. So depending on how this all plays out, this could be a new low bar for the series. When you thought it couldn't get any lower with the winter reskin, copying has somehow become the norm in AAA gaming. Even for a series that once set the standard, Battlefield doesn't even need to borrow shit from other games. That's what makes this so frustrating. It needs to remember that Battlefield is about large-scale warfare. There's plenty of opportunity here to add that, but for many players, Season 2 is a make-or-break moment for this game. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Please let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll be going even deeper into this game in the next one. Peace.